Hello, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're marching into the fog of war, but not to discuss tactics or demons. Instead, we're exploring the chilling intersection of conflict and the unexplained. From the mud-soaked trenches of World War I to ancient fields where empires clashed, soldiers throughout history have returned with more than just battle scars. They've brought back stories of ghostly figures, phantom sounds, and eerie premonitions that defy easy explanation. Are these the lingering echoes of intense human emotion, or something else entirely? Join us as we uncover the secrets of battlefield ghosts. One of the most famous and unsettling tales comes from the Battle of Mons in 1914. Vastly outnumbered, the British Expeditionary Force was in full retreat from the advancing German army. As despair set in, many British soldiers reported a truly astonishing sight. They saw a line of glowing, angelic figures, some described as phantom archers, standing between them and the enemy. These apparitions seemed to halt the German advance, giving the British forces crucial time to escape. Was it a miracle? Mass hallucination brought on by extreme stress and exhaustion. The story of the Angels of Mons became a symbol of hope back home. But for the men who claimed to have witnessed it, it was a very real and very paranormal encounter on the battlefield. Let's fast forward to World War II and a phenomenon known as ghost planes. Across multiple theaters of war, pilots and ground crews reported seeing aircraft that shouldn't have been there. A particularly famous account involves a lone American B-17 bomber, nicknamed the Phantom Fortress, that appeared over a British airfield in 1944. It was battered and riddled with holes, but it managed a perfect landing. When the ground crew rushed to the plane, they found it completely empty. There was no crew, no parachutes, not even a logbook. The engines were cold. It was as if a ghost crew had flown their final mission, determined to bring their beloved plane home one last time. Similar stories of phantom aircraft, from both Allied and Axis sides, have been reported for decades. Spectral echoes in the skies where so many young airmen met their fate. The phenomenon isn't limited to the world wars. The Battle of Gettysburg, a turning point in the American Civil War, is considered one of the most haunted locations in the United States. Over 50,000 soldiers became casualties in just 3 days of brutal fighting. Today, visitors and paranormal investigators report an astonishing range of phenomena. They hear the disembodied sounds of cannon fire and the cries of the wounded echoing across the fields. They see full-bodied apparitions of soldiers, still marching in formation or searching for lost comrades in areas like the Valley of Death and Devil Eston. These aren't just fleeting shadows. People describe detailed uniforms, clear facial expressions, and encounters that feel completely solid, only for the figures to vanish into thin air. The sheer emotional energy and trauma imprinted on this land seems to have created a permanent spiritual scar. But why do these experiences happen so frequently in war zones? Psychologists offer some compelling explanations. The extreme conditions of combat sleep deprivation, constant fear, immense physical and emotional stress can certainly play tricks on the mind. The brain, under duress, might create hallucinations as a coping mechanism or simply misinterpret sensory input. A trick of the light becomes a ghostly figure. The wind howling through a ruined building becomes a human scream. This is known as the psychological priming effect, where soldiers are hypervigilant and their minds are primed to see threats, even when none exist. It's a survival instinct that could easily blur the line between reality and illusion. Furthermore, there's the concept of collective memory and cultural belief. Soldiers go into battle knowing the history of the ground they fight on. They've heard stories and legends. When you're standing on a field where thousands died, it's natural for your imagination to run wild. The power of suggestion is incredibly strong, especially within a close-knit group like a military unit. If one soldier sees something strange, the suggestion can spread quickly, leading to a shared experience that reinforces the belief in the paranormal. It doesn't mean they are lying. It means their brains are interpreting a strange event through a pre-existing cultural and emotional filter. However, science can't explain everything away. Some accounts are just too detailed, too consistent, and witnessed by too many reliable people to be dismissed as mere tricks of the mind. Take, for example, the stories from ancient battlefields, like the fields of Marathon in Greece. The ancient historian Pausanias wrote that even centuries after the famous battle against the Persians, locals could still hear the sounds of fighting at night, the clash of steel, and the neighing of horses. This isn't a modern phenomenon. It's a belief that has persisted for millennia. Could intense, violent events leave a kind of energetic residue on a location? This idea, often called place memory or the stone tape theory, suggests that strong emotions and events can be recorded into the very fabric of a place, replaying like a psychic recording under certain conditions. Another compelling aspect is the sheer number of premonitions and crisis apparitions reported by soldiers. These are instances where a soldier has a vivid dream or vision of a loved one who has just passed away back home, long before any official news could have reached them, or stories of a feeling, an overwhelming urge to duck or move just a second before a shell lands exactly where they were standing. Some soldiers have reported seeing a ghostly image of a fallen comrade who appears to warn them of impending danger. While skeptics might call it coincidence or heightened intuition, for the soldiers who experienced it, it felt like a guardian angel from beyond the veil, a final act of battlefield brotherhood. Consider the haunted castles and fortresses of Europe, structures that have witnessed centuries of sieges, battles, and imprisonment. The Tower of London is infamous for its ghostly residents, including Anne Boleyn and the two young princes. Similarly, Chillingham Castle in England, used as a military stronghold for centuries, is said to be haunted by the spirits of captured Scottish soldiers and a blue boy whose cries are heard in the night. These places are saturated with a history of violence and suffering. It makes you wonder if the stones themselves hold the memories, replaying the tragedies for those sensitive enough to perceive them. The consistent reports from these locations, spanning generations, suggest that something more than just imagination is at play. So, what are we to make of the ghosts of the battlefield? Are they projections of our own traumatized minds, born from the horrors of war? Are they cultural stories we tell ourselves to make sense of the senseless loss? Or are they genuine echoes of the souls who made the ultimate sacrifice, their spirits forever tied to the ground where they fell? Perhaps the truth is a complex mixture of all these things. The human mind is a powerful and mysterious thing, but the universe is even more so. The one thing we know for sure is that for as long as there are battlefields, there will be stories of the ghosts who linger. They're a solemn, chilling reminder of the human cost of conflict. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey into the paranormal side of history. It's a fascinating and sobering topic. What do you think? Have you heard any other battlefield ghost stories? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this exploration, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the world's greatest mysteries. Until next time, stay curious.